What's up, people? I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
Carl.
Jason.
Ray.
What's on today's show, Jim?
Well, let's first talk about what the show is. Just for the newer listeners. I know there's a lot of them. Carl, shut. You're not supposed to break the illusion, Charles.
Go ahead, Jim. Explain. So
It's where old farts like me, Carl, and Richie introduce
young farts.
Young farts with movies
Younger-ish.
that we enjoyed in our younger days. Movies from the 90s, 80s, 70s.
Oh, that's way younger.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying just because you watch it. Like I didn't watch Batman when it was on. I watched Batman in syndication.
Especially that when it came out, I wasn't alive.
That's right. So what movie are we talking about today? I'll tell you. 3 O'Clock Eye. Preppy high school reporter Jerry Mitchell
Me and you are gonna fight.
has to write a story on a tough new kid named Buddy Revell,
Buddy
Boy,
Revell.
a boy rumored to have a violent past.
He's a touch freak.
Yes, and Jerry touches him. And Buddy tells him they're going to fight at 3 o'clock.
And there's the plot.
And there you go.
Not just a clever
And the rest of the movie is Jerry trying to get out of this fight. Of course, this was... What year was this? 1987.
Wow. What
Movie, also, the movie's a tight 90 minutes. They knew how to make them back then.
Very
Which I love. Give me a 90-minute movie any day.
Starring Casey Simmer. How do you pronounce his last name?
Samasco.
What?
Samasco.
How do you say it?
Samasco.
Carl used to hang
Tabasco?
out with him.
Yeah, Carl used to get coffee with him.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's my next door neighbor?
And Richard Tyson is Buddy Revell. One might remember Casey from such notables as Biloxi Blues. He was in that.
That's right.
Oh, there it is. I
And
was trying to remember.
Yeah,
He was also in Young Guns.
that's right. He was,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact.
Forever.
And Richard Tyson, who was in Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
He was the heavy.
Recognize him.
He was the heavy.
Yeah, he still looks the
Whoa.
same. He still makes the same mannerisms.
Yeah.
It's the exact same pouty, angry face in both movies.
And similar haircut.
Yeah, like the slick back look.
Yeah. He told
And
Arnold.
just dead eyed, like he has like just
Yeah.
little subtle emotion. It's just like the
Mhm.
same look,
He walked up
very
to
monotone.
He walked up to Arnold in that movie and said, "We're gonna fight at 3 o'clock." It's like, dude, that was one movie. You gotta break out.
Some
This is a grade
reviews.
school, man.
Some reviews. This is from Roger Ebert, who gave it a thumbs down.
That's right.
Even a dumb teen movie such as this has to end with one of those fist fights where every blow sounds like a special effects guy whacking a bicycle seat with a ping pong paddle.
Love it.
Wow, that's quite a description.
Wow. Way to go, Roger.
This one from Eve Tushnet. A perfectly serviceable 80s lockers and lip locking flick. I guess
All right.
I never heard that term before.
Whoa.
For those who like such things, utterly lacking in what Christians call a conscience and what philosophers call a point.
I feel like we need to come up with our own little slogans for each movie. Like,
Oh, man.
that'd be really
And
funny.
two of my favorites. 3 O'Clock High is one of the more fun, semi-forgotten teen flicks of the 1980s.
Semi-forgotten? Like totally forgotten? I've never
Yeah.
heard of this movie until you guys asked
And,
me about this.
and this one that just says, this is from Brian Costello, dated 80s teen comedy has bullying, cursing, violence.
Okay, well, he's not wrong. I mean,
Uh,
that's more accurate, I guess.
why does Roger know what a ping pong paddle hitting a bicycle seat sounds like?
I don't know. I guess the
He's
So
reviewed-
mad he ran out to
Yeah.
try it. He's like, "Yep, that's it."
I was like the old Indiana Jones whip punch set the bar, so
Yeah,
that's what they compare
exactly.
everything to.
Well, I mean, he's reviewed, thousands of movies. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So, Richie, what is your first memories of this movie?
My God, teenagers, like probably when it came out. I just remember the whole, quick shots of the clock and shit like that I always loved.
Mm-hmm.
The clock that doesn't move like a real clock. It's just quick.
And me and my friends to this day still like, will when something's going down, we'll be like, "Don't do something, Mitchell." So,
Carl, do you have any memory of this movie?
Yeah, I saw it probably when it came out,
yeah.
and not until yesterday I saw it again.
Wow.
I think
It wasn't.
I think this was just one of those random picks from Blockbuster for me,
Yeah.
where me and my friends watched it and we shared and enjoyed it.
It was one of those movies that like you didn't hate it, you didn't love it. It was just there.
Yeah, it just had quotable moments,
Right.
and there was something about it that just hit me at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've watched it quite a few times since then, but nothing too recently since I watched it for the show. I'd say I probably hadn't seen it in at least 10 to 15 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've seen it. In the last 10 years, I've probably seen it 10 times.
Jesus, really?
In the last 10 years? Oh, yeah, easily.
Wow.
It'll be one of those things where I'm flipping around in my movie catalog. I'm like, oh, well,
on your phone.
No, this one's not on my phone, but it's on my computer.
I actually enjoyed this movie. It was very corny. At first, I thought kind of threw me off a little bit because main character was like, oh, he's like a Ferris Bueller hybrid, super cool, and like, he was just like the man. And then he gets to school, and I'm like, okay, he's not popular. He's not really a nerd. He's just kind of like an average student. But as the movie goes on, and I mean, honestly, him getting bullied by that dude was the best thing that ever happened to him because he became like this super big pimp daddy. With the whole book report scene, and then like his one weirdo, I don't know if it was his girlfriend, but
yeah.
He wanted to like just jump his bones.
Yeah.
Or
It was a good
She
read.
backed off.
Yeah.
It was just crazy to me because I thought he was just gonna walk into the school and everyone's gonna worship him like Ferris Bueller, but it just his character was definitely odd. But I mean, the movie had a lot of corniness. It was a great high school 80s flick, in my opinion. A lot of unrealistic scenes, but I enjoyed the movie a lot, actually, more than I thought I would.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
I enjoyed it too, honestly.
Go ahead, Ray.
Well, I
Dude has just so everybody knows, he has like 13 pages.
no, it's only like 9. No, I mean,
took notes.
It started off one way when I was watching this movie. I was like, it felt, now that you mention it, Jay, I didn't even think about it until you or just giving your review. It did start off kind of like feeling like this Ferris Bueller kind of vibe, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's gonna be a fun movie. And he's just, he's microwaving his pants and a Pop-Tart at the same time, like he's completely all over the place, this character. And so like, but then it became something way different. So I'm like, oh, he is kind of like the nerdy guy because he does the school newspaper thing. And by the way, speaking of nerdy guys, his best friend Vince, shout out to that guy. Crazy guy, like he was gonna plant a knife in the bully's locker for his friend.
And did the note too. Put the note on the anonymous note. Yeah.
He pulled the fire alarm to get him out of class.
And this while wearing a sweater vest.
And a tie. And
that dude is you 10 years ago, Ray.
I know, dude. And then at the end, he jumps on the bad guy just at the last second to save his friend. Like, that is like the best friend in any movie I've seen in a long time.
That is so true, man. He was a solid friend.
I was like,
way better than Cameron.
Oh, wait, dude. Like, he was just he was my boy. Like, I was like, hell yeah, he's helping him out this whole time in this movie. And then at the end, when he gets those brass knuckles, like me, man, like who carries brass knuckles? Like, you can
Buddy
totally
Revell
kill
does.
someone, dude. And he knocks him out with the brass
Buddy Revell
knuckles. I thought that was awesome. What else? What other like little things I have here? Pep rally was pretty dope. That like they had this like skeleton football pinata thing that they all beat the hell out of, and it was like a well done production. I wish my pep rallies looked like that. 80s movies are just awesome. Like they make everything that would be so mundane in real life cool and like interesting.
Well, that's what we were allowed to do when we went to high school without people worrying about their emotions.
So
Right.
so when you're in high school too, was it cool for like you to smooch a teacher and then her give?
Oh gosh,
when
I
we went
haven't
to
gotten
nurse,
there yet.
Well,
I haven't even
Miss
gotten there yet.
Farmer left her phone number for you. She wants you to
Yeah.
call her later. I'm like, by the end of this movie, Mitchell had the choice of the hot popular girl, the teacher who wasn't bad looking, or the weirdo
Oh,
freak
not
who wanted to
bad
hook
Yeah,
up with him.
the one who talks to the dead.
I mean, if it was him, I would have went for the teacher. That's
I was
just
gonna
me.
say
Dude, the teacher
the
at the
teacher would have
end.
been
Oh yeah,
top
if I was
notch.
in his shoes, teacher would have been.
By the
first
way,
for me.
that scene.
Is that Megan Mullally,
No.
by
No,
the
it's not.
way? Looks
That
like
scene I thought wasn't going to be real. I thought he was going to wake up and
Right.
had like a hypoglycemic event in the nurse's
Right.
station. Like that's what I thought was going to happen. But
Right.
they kept it as a real thing in the movie that he literally just grabbed cigarettes off another kid's desk in 1987, someone else's sunglasses, walks up, lights a cigarette, and just starts talking some bullshit about some
Talks
like not
about
even a
it.
really good book report. It was like an okay book report.
Yeah.
And this teacher is just hot and bothered and wants him. And like nobody's like against that.
The
Like
faculty was cool with it too. Like, hey,
dude, like other teachers probably knew. I'm sure everybody like they had this like crazy security guy, the Duker, who put up those gay vibes on him. Like he's like checking him out. Like when he's like busting him with the knife, he's wearing a turtleneck. He looks like Mr. Clean. And then he takes him to another bald guy who's also like an
dean?
enforcer of the law.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they didn't know that him and this teacher are making out in class and she's leaving her phone number for him. Like
Hey,
this is the craziest part of the whole
I'm
movie.
telling you, Mitch, he was
It
a
really
pimp,
was.
dude.
Her name,
like Jim
act-
said.
the actress name was Kathleen Heaney. She is currently
Oh.
71 years old.
I already looked at
Whoa.
Wow.
it.
Like Jim said, it's a good
So she was like in
It's a
her
good
late
read.
30s during that movie.
hot, fast.
Yeah. It reminded me of like Julianne Moore from Boogie Nights. It reminded me of her in a
Oh,
weird
yeah.
way at the end of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
what else? Oh, go ahead.
I would say the fight was the best. Him, that bully choosing the fight was the best thing that ever happened to him
I
because
was
it
gonna
made
bring
Mitch
that up.
like, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're right on it, man, because you're reading my mind. Like he literally knocks out like 6 people in a row. He's
Yeah,
knocking
no.
people out. Like
Even
over
like the
and
dean.
over. And
Yeah.
like you don't even think it's gonna be a fight movie. You think he's gonna get out of it somehow, and he basically does. When you're like, oh no, he's actually to go fight now. It's kind of like a Rocky montage thing. Like he's got like he's badass again, and he's going up to the fight. But this dude's like knocking people out left and right. And then the
Yeah.
principal, after getting knocked out, just jumps up and is like, "Don't mess it up.
Don't
Like,
fuck us up,
don't
Joe.
Don't miss this punch."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Plus, he beat up the football player at the library and totally
I
destroyed
know.
the library.
I thought that was cool how like the football players like, yeah, I'll help you for real
Completely.
money. I thought he was gonna come over, and like it just kept like I had expectations or I thought I had something figured out, and they 180'd it all throughout the whole movie. It was really, really unpredictable. It was super
I love
unpredictable.
that this movie threw Ray.
Well, I mean, because it was so just all over. I didn't know what I was watching at first.
I thought it was going to be something else.
I love the insult that his sister gave him. She's like, "You look like fat-free milk."
Yeah,
I
instead
started
of,
laughing so hard.
Dude,
I had to write that
his
down.
sister, she was a little gangster too, man.
Right?
Yeah.
She was
She
like,
was.
she was
Totally
like,
was.
she was like giving him the best advice, or like kind of like out of nowhere, like, hey, you need to do this, and she was just there at the right times, just hooking him up. She was a good
Yeah.
sister.
I loved how they got along like that. That was great.
That was
Yeah,
an
it-
interesting movie.
Dude, this is awesome to hear.
No, but I
like,
mean, it's like there were, other than Buddy Revell
right?
and the, I would say the security guard, there were no,
The Duker.
the characters weren't that outrageous.
Right.
And there was no like jocks and nerds type thing.
Like no
the-
stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, they were all just, nobody's out to get anybody other,
Yeah, it's like a normal high school.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it
It's
was
not
like
the
a very
over
normal high school.
dramatized. Yeah, it wasn't
Right.
over the top.
but I liked the exaggerated stories about Buddy
Yeah.
Revell in the beginning, and then
In
the
the beginning,
exaggerated
yeah.
stories about
Jerry. At the end.
Jerry Mitchell at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that whole.
That was a good touch. That was a
yeah,
good way
the
to
game
end the
of-
movie.
He
Yeah,
gave
the
up
game
his
of
book report,
telephone.
and she started
Yeah.
ripping her clothes off and did it right there in front of the whole class.
Yeah, dude.
That is such like high school like.
That's what I'm
rumors. That's
saying.
exactly what they sound like.
Like
Yeah.
it's basically coughed some truth, but not the whole
Right,
truth.
right. That's what I mean. It's like that whole game of telephone in the beginning and the whole game of telephone at the end. So
I just don't understand the point of the movie because he accidentally slaps him on the shoulder in the bathroom.
Right.
Why not just fight him there? Why wait till 3:00? And it's this whole movie about waiting till 3:00. And like the whole school, like, dude, it looked like a small stadium full of people. No one's breaking it up. Like, there's so many people.
They
and then the
tried, but
cops
he
show
knocked
up.
them all. But he
like-
knocked them all out. What do you
So-
mean?
At the end,
Well,
show up and they're going to take him, and the principal's like, "No, he's had enough for the day." And the cops are like, "Okay, yeah, you're right, principal. We have no jurisdiction here. We'll just
Yeah.
leave."
Ray, just so you know, like in high school.
Hey, the principal said he's had enough.
Dude.
I don't. It doesn't
Sure,
matter
we'll
that
get you
many
another time,
assaults
kid.
happened.
So seriously though,
Good, Richie.
in high school, I've been to fights similar to that.
That
With
big?
that many
With that
people?
Yeah, like there
Dude.
was like this dude is gonna fight this dude Saturday at the football game, but behind the
Oh.
whatever. And
Okay,
then
well, that
like
makes a
50
little more
fucking
sense.
people are there. No, but
Yeah.
seriously, that's like then 50, 60 people are there waiting for a fight, and
Yeah,
then we
that-
go
I
back
guess
to the
that makes
football
sense.
game.
We had
Yeah, but it's
fights
not
behind our
broad
park.
daylight.
There was
Yeah.
a park that was like
Park,
3 blocks
yeah.
from our high school, and like whenever two guys, or mainly it was girls who were fighting, there'd be
Right.
like a shit ton of us. We'd just stand in
Right.
a circle and watch guys
Yeah,
and girls
but
fight.
never like in the middle of
Yeah,
the
never in
campus.
school. They got broken
Yeah.
up
In
quick.
broad daylight.
Yeah.
They were even standing and looking out the windows, and the school's like
Yeah, dude, they're
10
in the
stories
school.
tall, and they're
know.
like, yeah, like a gladiator arena.
Dude, I
right?
love looking at the extras. There's like one girl standing by herself on top of like something like a part of a car or like a wall, and she's just arms crossed,
So
like not even
Nice.
cheering.
speaking of extras, so the lady who voices Lisa Simpson, she's in the very beginning of the
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
And
And
the
then
yep.
Paul Feig is one of the hall monitors who I caught.
Ah,
Oh yeah, that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
good catch, bro. That's really
So
good. I didn't
Carl,
see that.
where was this shot? Was this near your high school?
And Mitch
in
Pileggi
Utah.
was the security guard, and of course his big TV role was
X-Files.
X Files.
Yeah, that's where I recognize the Duker from.
Yeah, the Duker.
It's like also, it's like, don't ever mess with the Duker, kid.
He was also in an earlier movie.
And also Jeffrey Tambor was in this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know why they had like two different main school administrators. Like they had the principal and then the guy below him, the ball guy. Why not just make one of them the principal? It was kind of confusing, like in a weird way at the end. It's like,
Mhm.
where's the other guy? Trying to
The-
break all this shit up.
The Duker was in an
He
earlier
got knocked out.
bad movie as well.
What was that?
Well, I think it was great. Dr. Detroit.
Oh, Don. He was in. That's
Oh,
right.
wow.
He was one of
he
the
worked for
bald.
Mom.
He worked for Mom. Oh man, have either of you seen Dr. Detroit?
Oh,
Oh,
that just made it. That just made the list.
You guys, where do you find these movies at?
It's
Yeah,
a Dan
man, bring
Aykroyd
this
movie.
And he kinda-
So this movie, I enjoyed the ways he tried to get out of the fight, and my favorite part was the switchblade in the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
With
Dude, he shredded his mom's car. Like,
Yeah.
that guy was not around.
The security guard caught Mitch, but he didn't have
Not
time
him.
to catch the other dude ripping out his engine or stabbing his steering wheel with a knife.
yeah,
Yeah.
He probably gave him
Did him returning
little
the
hand job, that's why.
$350? Did that redeem him?
no, that
All the
showed he
shitty
had
things
that
he
showed
did?
he had honor,
yeah,
like a
Yeah.
Klingon.
and he
No,
kind of
he
gave him
did
that.
You
way
won
more
this fight.
shitty things the whole movie.
And
then
he
he
gave him
just
that,
returns him.
and he also gave him that like well done kid smirk. Like you had to.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
subtle.
it's like it's like when he pays him to get out of the fight, and Buddy
Right.
says like, "Man, you didn't even try. How does that feel?" I would go, "Well, it feels like my face is still in one piece.
Yeah, I feel
So-
like I'm not gonna get a
so-
brain trauma.
I'm pretty sure I can't beat you in a fight."
Right.
So
I mean, he's like, keep the 350. You have a choice between a teacher, the hot girl,
Yeah, I know, right?
or the hot
I'm
weirdo.
preoccupied, bro.
cool.
I got plans
Thank
after
you
school.
for making me
Yeah.
a man.
Teacher.
Thanks, man.
I've got stuff to do.
Teacher all the way, all the way.
Oh yeah, Jazzy.
Yeah, man. I can't agree more. That's like every like high school boys fantasy.
Oh
and like
yeah.
and it was real. Like it's like, oh geez, okay. Well, I honestly thought that was gonna be fake. Thought I was just gonna be dreaming it. Crazy.
Yeah, it's the first, like, I mean, 80s high school movie that I've seen where the lead character has options for women. It's like
Right?
usually it's like
That's why I didn't do so well.
the nerdy
They
guy
were so
goes after the hot girl, or or it's, oh, this has been the girl all along. I've known her for my whole life, girl next door. But Mitch had some
She
options.
takes off the glasses,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Yeah.
lets
yeah.
down her hair.
and he got an A with his book report. That's on everything. Like, he was saying it was the worst day of his life. I'm like, you can argue it was the best day of your life, buddy.
It had some good 80s tropes to it, like the beginning montage when he's getting
Oh,
ready
yeah.
for school. And then I had the other one. Oh, the heartwarming moment where everybody comes to buy a sheet of paper for $1.
Yeah.
And so give him his money back. Oh, here we go,
Oh.
everybody. Let's line up and help and be
Yeah.
caring. And then, it's that heartwarming.
You know,
end.
you notice the football player didn't give him back his 100. He took a piece
yeah.
and kept that shit.
Yeah.
He only gave
He
250 back,
never
right?
came back.
He
Yeah.
never gave that. So, and how do you
Like-
destroy a library and just go to class?
I thought they said at lunch. I thought they're going to be in the cafeteria. I'm like, why is this guy walking in the library?
Yeah.
He said at lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's when he's like, that's when
Well,
they do it.
Why didn't
Confused.
anyone report him to the
Confused.
police when he showed back up at school after assaulting
Oh yeah.
3 different school people from the
Yeah.
school?
He
Yeah.
clearly wasn't expelled because the cop was
Right.
like, he got away, buddy got away. We'll find him. And then he's like there the next day at school.
Yeah.
Just, hey, what's up, guys? I'm not expelled. We had,
Well-
all this shit went down yesterday. But
Well, they
I'm
were
free."
looking in other places, you see.
Mm.
They they didn't find him at the school. That would
Well, his
Bookman is
character,
Bookman
but his
is-
character was like another one that kind of threw me for a loop. Like I honestly thought at the end he was going to be this misunderstood, maybe bullied himself, like that whole thing that you see, or like maybe they'd come to like a better agreement, but it just didn't happen to that weird moment where he just
Like
gives
they
him
were
back the
gonna-
money.
like they were
that was
gonna
like the
sit at the same
only like
table.
resolution. I was like, okay, but I thought they were
That
gonna do
is
like more
true.
background. Like he was
Yeah.
just mean to be mean. He
Yeah.
didn't know.
You
in
thought he
this-
was gonna. You
Yeah.
thought he was
I thought
gonna
they were
sit
gonna,
at
like,
the same table
why-
at lunch and share a milk
Yeah.
or something.
Or like why you look like fat free milk. It just made no sense because like I thought they were going to touch on why he doesn't like to be touched. You know,
Yeah.
like was he
But he just,
assaulted?
but he just brings Jerry a chocolate milk. Here you go. bud.
Oh, he's
Nice shot, yes.
Buddy Revell was just a force of nature. There was no.
Yeah, man. I guess so.
Yeah, there wasn't much character development there.
No, he
No.
was there to be a bad
Just-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, brute. Not even just a bad guy. Like
Yeah, that's
wasn't
literally,
talking,
he had
just
no- true.
hits people.
It's like
No
a
character
barbarian.
development
He was a
at all.
barbarian.
Yeah. His,
Not
his
gonna lie
shoes are
though,
dope.
when he pulled
Those
up in his
Dockers.
Nova, I was like, that's
He
a
looked pretty
fucking
cool.
car.
Yeah, he looked pretty cool, didn't he?
Who would win in a fight, Buddy Revell or Adam Baldwin from My Bodyguard?
Ooh,
Ooh. I'll
Our-
take Baldwin. I'll
our-
take Baldwin.
Our good friend Adam Baldwin.
I'll take Baldwin.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but Adam Baldwin's pretty big.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll take Adam Baldwin.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
animal
well-
mother.
What was that?
He's animal mother.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like,
Yeah,
His
but I'm not
character
talking
from-
about that character. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the character you played in My Bodyguard.
yeah.
I know you. I know you. Talk.
I know
I'd have to
you
go.
know.
I'd have to
no.
go, Buddy Revell.
Why? Because he can take out people with like one punch.
100%.
I mean, it took a brass knuckles to knock him down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll go with Buddy Revell.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So.
They don't know. They don't know what My Bodyguard is either.
Yeah,
I
I was
know.
looking it
By
up.
the
I was
way.
honestly just looking at pictures. I'm like, I've never seen this freaking movie. He has curly hair. I say no, he loses.
Holy shit! Look up DC Cab because you're going to be watching that too.
DC
Oh,
Cab.
wow.
I'm not watching DC Cab again, pal.
We should rename this show to just Destroy Ray and Jay. They can just watch these crazy movies.
Oh my
All
god!
right, well, let's keep or delete, fellas. What is something you would rewatch?
I 100% would rewatch this movie.
That's awesome.
Keep it. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I came up with very low expectations, and it blew those out of the water. So I enjoyed. I love 80s movies, and I like 80s high school movies. So I compare it to the ones that I've watched, and this one was pretty damn good. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie.
Wow,
It's up there.
awesome!
up there.
Excellent.
All right, Ray, you had a little, concerned face.
I'm not that fan. I'm not that big of a fan. I don't think I'd watch it again if it was like on TV. I don't think I'd watch it again. I'd find something else to watch.
If you were flipping and it came
Yeah,
on, you would be
I'd
like,
keep flipping.
All right, let me go back.
No, I'd keep flipping.
All
It's like a one and
All
done
right.
for me.
Okay. 1 for, 1 against. Now let's go to us.
Go ahead, Jim.
And you want me to go first?
Sure.
And I'll say, would I still watch it? Do I still feel the same about this movie? And the answer is no, I don't actually. I watched it and I read, and as I was sitting there, I'm going, no, this wasn't as funny as I remember it.
No,
I thought
I
only
agree
one
with
line
you
was
there.
funny the entire
Yeah.
movie.
And-
yeah, this movie wasn't a comedy.
Yeah. And I think it was us constantly quoting it that made it funnier
Yes.
in my mind. So I had this feeling toward this movie that when I watched it again, I said, if I don't see this again in 15 years, I'll be okay. So that's me. It doesn't hit me the same.
All right.
Richie?
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I agree that it's not one of my, man, I love these high school 80s movies. It was.
I'm sorry.
it was-
I'm looking at Carl, and he looks like
I know.
he was conducting.
Now you're looking.
I don't hate it. Like I watched it again, and I know I'll still watch it in the future. It's not going to go away, but it's not as, the first couple times I've seen it when we're younger, it was way different because there was really nothing else out at the time. So
Yeah,
You know
that
what
was
I
a
mean?
pretty
Like-
dark time.
yeah, I mean, it was like, all
That's
right,
fair enough.
here's another teenage movie. It didn't suck, so you were like, yeah, I'll watch that again.
That makes sense.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
So and
Kinda like
they
competition.
weren't making epics back then. They
Right.
were making movies. It was-
Yeah, just throwing stuff out the wall and see what
Right.
sticks. Yeah.
but that's like, it wasn't like how movies are now. Like in 3 weeks they'll be out on video. Like
Right.
you saw them once and then you had to wait, and then
Yeah.
Right.
when you were at
Yeah, right.
Blockbuster, you were like, oh shit, it's out.
Yeah,
That's,
Yeah.
that's
true.
actually something that I was thinking about the other day. Like, we don't really wait for movies to come
No.
out on like demand anymore. That's crazy. We used to have to
And-
wait like 3-4 months, or like half a year even.
And I bet movies like this one with low
And I-
budgets, you probably only saw like the poster of it in like a newspaper or something. You probably never saw a
I'm-
commercial for
Right,
it.
right. That's a good point too. Small towns.
I rented it. I rented this just by the cover.
Yeah,
That's funny.
exactly.
That's like Puppet Master. for me.
the videotape.
Yep.
Cover. And
that was always so much fun going to the video store and like just this is a gamble. I don't know what we're gonna be watching tonight, but we're gonna watch this thing.
That was
It
the
could be the
best, man.
craziest
I
fucking
re-
thing. Like, you don't know if it's gonna be good or bad.
You finish your
yeah, Richie's
thoughts on
finished.
the movie?
Yeah,
Carl.
Yep.
I had two thoughts, or maybe three. I thought Casey Shamasco was pretty damn good. Good actor.
Yeah, you didn't do terrible.
I thought the school was beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm not even convinced it was a school. It's just a building.
It was shot in Utah.
yeah.
oh, it's
That doesn't mean it was an actual
Tabernacle.
school.
Just like that movie 10 Things I Hate About You. Remember the high school in
Yeah.
that movie?
Oh yeah, dude.
Same
It was like
thing.
it was like a castle,
Elite. Yeah.
and they have a band playing
Yeah, I
on
know.
top of it. That was awesome at the end.
I don't think it was an actual high school. And did
It's
your high school have a store? Like he had worked.
My
My
college,
high
My
did,
high
not
school,
high school.
high school had a store.
Yeah, my high school. had a
Mine
store.
didn't.
I
Mine
didn't
did
see that
not.
until college.
My high school had a store. You all sorts of crap at it.
Yeah, you can get
My
like school
last
supplies. You
thought-
can get school supplies, and you can also get like T-shirts and
Snacks
book bags
in high
and shit.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa, no, not my high school.
yeah, you can buy snacks.
No, your
My
high school
last-
was-
Funding.
your high school was too busy, being
In
a
movies.
location for many movies. So had no time for school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no time.
good top Pee Wee.
You can't open up a retail establishment in the school when you're in the movie business.
Yeah.
My last thought is I thought it looked really great and it was really stylistic. And then at the end, I realized it was Barry Sonnenfeld.
Oh,
He was the DP.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
also
a
did-
director of photography? No, yeah, he was a cinematographer.
Yeah. Like I said, those quick shots were always cool to me.
That was him. He also did the same year, he did Raising Arizona. And then he went on to Men in Black and started directing his own movies.
Yeah, because the
He's a-
director
He's a legend.
that's
of
awesome.
the
actually.
film is known for his collaborations with the rock band U2, whom he directed
Right, that
music
guy too.
videos.
Phil Joannou did Rattle and Hum. But I think it was, I credit Sonnenfeld more.
I like Seinfeld.
Yeah, I like Seinfeld too.
Sonnenfeld.
That's where Bookman came from.
Yeah, that's right.
Played the same character.
Yeah, actually, when Homeboy shows up in this movie, I thought of Seinfeld because
Immediately, he played the same character.
the library cop, yeah.
The library cop.
He's the same guy.
True.
Around the same year.
Right?
All right. Well, that was. Oh,
That was
by
pretty
the
cool.
way, this movie had a $5 million budget and raked in a cool $3.6 million.
Yikes.
Oh, damn.
So
That's not good.
it certainly developed a larger life in the video stores than it
Well,
ever
I just
did
gave him. I
at
just
the
gave him
theater.
$4 more on Amazon.
I was like, Richie added it to his share file. I just watched it off of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have it, so
I don't know how to pull that up on my TV though, or how to watch it. Share file.
It should be in a standard format that any media player
Yeah.
should be able to play.
If you have
Oh, yeah,
Apple
I would
TV,
need
you
to
can
play.
just,
I
you
think
can
it's
just throw it on your
it's
TV.
an M4V.
I just have a smart TV, LG.
Oh, you don't have anything like a
can't watch it
cable-
on your computer.
I guess I could watch it on my computer. It's just
Yeah.
not as comfortable sitting on my chair versus my couch.
It's like a comfy chair.
Yeah. I mean, it's maybe for 90-minute movie. That's another good thing about
Yeah.
this movie. It was only 90 minutes.
Well, yes,
Wham bam.
more
Yeah.
movies need to go
Keep
back.
picking movies like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, trust me, all the movies we're picking are not, epics that are
Right.
fucking,
Yeah.
like
When did that become the trend, man? Like every movie's like 2.5, 3 hours now. It's just too long.
I know, it's bullshit.
It's a terrible
I'm starting to agree with
situation.
Yeah,
A
that's
terrible-
why I
I didn't
said
agree with Richie
fucking-
back in the day, but I do now, man. Like
all
it's-
these
it's
movies
exhausting.
that are coming out. I'm like, I'm only watching 90 minutes of it. Whatever
I watched
happens
The
in those 90
Creator.
minutes.
Yeah, I watched The
that's
Creator. It was like a 2.5 hour movie. That could have been a 90-minute movie. It
Yeah, no
not
shit.
need to
A
be
lot of
two
them
and a half
can.
hour. It was so long.
Fucking watching
so
it. I'm
long.
like, yeah, I'm only watching 90 minutes of this. That's all they're getting.
I was like, unless it has Lord of the Rings in front of the title, I was
Yeah.
like, it needs to be shorter.
Even that could have been
Even
90
Star Wars
minutes.
doesn't need to be that
No
long.
way, man.
That could have
Star
been
Wars is
90
so long
minutes.
No way.
Star
Wars too, yeah.
All three movies could have been 90 minutes.
No way, man. I love the extended versions.
Me
Dude,
too.
No, I'm
will-
talking about all
I'm
three
talking
in
the
one.
new ones.
No,
I'm talking the-
he meant
Oh,
90
the
minutes for the
sequels.
whole trilogy.
For the whole thing.
I'm only talking the last trilogy.
No,
Yeah,
he's
the
talking
last
about
one, like Last
he's
Jedi.
allotting 30
Oh,
minutes
those
per
are too
movie.
long.
yeah.
They didn't need to be that long.
Oh, good.
The end of
The
episode.
end of the show.
Yeah. The end of this episode.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was great.
Uncle Richie's hilarious.
All right. Well, until next time,
I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
Carl.
Jason.
Ray.